We have this dream that each year we move the envelope, maybe 5%, a realization that really made a major difference for then and in the future. And that's what keeps you interested. It's continual striving to just see what you can learn and do better.
I always say there are three kinds of wineries: new ones, relevant ones, and out of business ones. You can only be new once. Nobody wants to be out of business. So any winery's goal is to maintain relevancy. And very few wineries have been able to do that over time and maintain a leading edge to what they're doing. Ridge has done that. Ridge wines are about restraint, they are about elegance, and they are about balance. And those are, to me, three of the core attributes that any wine needs to have to go well with food.
With cooking, balance is everything. Sweet, salt, sour, bitter, umami, not too heavy, not too light, something crunchy, something soft. Finding the right balance is where true complexity comes out. And I think you can say the same thing for wine. California produces its share of out-of-balance wines, high alcohol, over-extracted. Some of these styles of wines are appreciated, but for me, they tend to be wines that are not associated for the table in terms of food.
You really want the natural acidity that makes any wine refreshing. If a wine is heavy, I'm sorry, that's not where I am. That natural acidity is just crucial to balance the fullness of a big red wine. Wine is to be drunk with food. It is food. It brings friends closer together for that time. It brings family closer together for that time, so on. So it's really, it's a communal thing.
One of the characteristics of a great restaurant is a restaurant that can exist nowhere else except for where it is. There's a lot of great restaurants that have a real internationalist bent to it. You can pick them up, you can put them in Barcelona, Tokyo, London, New York, San Francisco, Tel Aviv. It wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter where it is. And those can be fine restaurants, but to me, they're not a great restaurant because they don't exhibit, where they're from.
The sense of where you are and the culture of that particular area. Ideally, the restaurant reflects that and grows out of it. We kind of grew up with Silicon Valley and Stanford, and we feel very much a sense of place, not just the soils and the climate for the vines, but as a business.
The first time I ever visited California, I got in the car with my parents who had just moved here, and we drove down and visited Ridge down in the Santa Cruz Mountains just because of the reputation. I was moving from New York, Montebello, of course, being this kind of mythical wine being made on top of a mountain away from the so-called great red wine centers in Napa and Sonoma County. These are wines that are provocative and profound. They go from these primary flavors to secondary flavors to tertiary flavors that is not even associated with fruit.
I'll put up these wines against, not only any wine made in the United States, but against any wine in the world. That's our backyard. It's a pleasure to be here in their company.
Consistency paired with relevancy equals stardom. From the 60s to where we are today, and having those wines be year in, year out, amongst the finest offerings, simply merit, emphasize, and validate with big yellow highlighter pen why Ridge sits at the top, why they are amongst the pantheon of America's great wines, and why I've been a fan for so long.